Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and I'm Akshaya pursuing second year engineering in SVCE Bangalore. So today I have come up with one of the important topic that is the centralized and client server architecture for the database management system. So let's get started. Coming to the introduction to the database management system. Database management system are the software application that enable the creation, storage, and manipulation of the digital data. They serve as the backbone for a wide range of applications from simple personal databases to the complex enterprise level system. So, uh, here the database management system are the software application that enables the creation of storage manipulation of the digital data. They serve as the backbone for a wide range of applications and for simpler personal databases, complex enterprise level system. This was about the introduction to database management system. Centralized database management system architecture. So three images I have uh, added. So one is the single point of control, efficient resource utilization, and the simplified backup and the recovery. Coming to the single point of control in a centralized DBMS, all data is stored and managed on the central server, giving administrators full control over the database and ensuring the data integrity. Coming to the efficient resource utilization, the centralized architecture allow for optimal use of the computing resources as well as the processing power and storage are consolidated in the central server. Simplified backup and the recovery. Backing up and restoring the database is easier in a centralized model as all data is stored in a single location, facilitating disaster recovery. So these are the two centralized DBA architecture with a single point of control, efficient resource utilization, and a simplified backup and recovery. What are the advantages of the centralized database management system is centralized control, one of the important one, enhanced security, improve efficiency. Centralized control. What is centralized control? Centralized DBMS allow for a unified management and control over the entire database, ensuring data integrity and consistency. One is enhanced security. With all the data stored in a central location, security measures can be more easily implemented and monitored, reducing the risk of the unauthorized access. Improved efficiency. Of course, every advantage is we're having this efficiency. What is this improved efficiency? Centralized DBMS enables efficient resource utilization as processing and storage can be optimized at the central level. So these are the three advantages and one of the three important advantages I have mentioned. If it has advantage, of course, it has a disadvantages too. What are the disadvantages of the centralized database management system? So single point of failure, scalability challenges, limited flexibility, security risk. First, what is single point of failure? If the central server goes down, the entire system becomes unavailable, disrupting operations and access to the data. Scalability challenges. Centralized DBMS can struggle to handle large volumes of data and high user using traffic, leading to performance issues. Limited flexibility. Changes or updates to the centralized system requires coordinating across the entire organization, making it less agile. And security risk. A centralized system presents a more attractive target for the cyber attacks, potentially compromising sensitive data. So this was about the disadvantages. As you saw, advantages, it has improved efficiency and all, and disadvantages is like scalability and security risk. Coming to client-server DBMS architecture, important image I have been added in this. In a client-server DBMS architecture, the database server manages the database, while client application access the data through network connection. This distributed approach allows for scalability, improved performance, and better security compared to a centralized DBMS. The client-server model separates the database management and data storage function from the application logic, enabling more efficient use of resources and easier maintenance too. So, brief introduction: what is a client to what is a server? I've explained. What are the components of the client-server database management system? Client server network database for important parts. What is a client? Let's see. The client is a user interface that allows user to interact with the database, sending queries and receiving the result. Of course, they will interact with the user interface that allows user to interact and they can send request or tell what the problem. Server in turn is a centralized database management system that stores and manages the data, processing client request and returning the appropriate information. Network. The network is the communication channel that connects the clients to the server, enabling the exchange of data and commands. Database. The database is the central repository that's all the data which is accessed and manipulated by the server on behalf of the clients. These are the four components of the client server database management system. One is the client, the second is the server, third is the network, fourth is the database. Next, coming to the advantages of the client server DBMS. So, what are the advantages? Means scalability, improve performance, flexibility, enhance security. So, these are the four main advantages I have mentioned here. In scalability, client server DBMS. DBMS can easily scale to handle increased numbers of users and data by adding more client machines or server as needed. Improved performance by distributing processing across the multiple machines. Client server DBMs can provide faster response time and higher throughput compared to a centralized system. The modular design. So the design of the client server DBMS, client server DBMS allows for easy customization and adaptation of the changing business requirements, making it a more future-proof solution. Enhance security. Security is one of the important part. Client server DBMS can implement granular access, control and secure data storage on the server while still providing users with the functionality they need. So these are the four important advantages of the client server DBMS. What are disadvantages of the client server DBMS? Complex setup, increased maintenance, security concerns, performance dependency. Complex setup, what we are doing in this, implementing a client-server DBMS architecture can be more complex and time-consuming compared to a centralized system, as it requires setting up and configuring multiple components. Increased maintenance. What is increased maintenance? So increased maintenance and server components distributed across a network, maintaining and updating systems can be more challenging and resource intensive. Security concern. So what is a security concern? The distributed nature of the client server DBMS increase the potential attack surface and requires more robust security. Security measures to protect data and prevent unauthorized accesses. Performance dependency. So what is this performance dependency? The performance of a client server DBMS can be heavily dependent on the network infrastructure, which can introduce latency and bottlenecks, particularly for remote or mobile clients. So this was about disadvantages. Next, coming to the comparison of the centralized and client server DBMS. Centralized DBMS, all data and processing are managed by the central mainframe computers. This architectural is a simpler and efficient, but offers limited scalability and flexibility. Client server DBMS. We saw about the centralized. Now coming to the client server. What is the client server do? In client server DBMS, architecture distributes processing across multiple computers. Clients request data and services from a central server which manages the database. This model is more scalable and flexible, but requires more and more complex infrastructure. That is one of the points. The comparison between centralized as well as the client here. Sure. So the last, choosing the right DBMS architecture for your needs. First thing, evaluate your needs. Second thing, access centralized pros and cons. Explore client and server benefits. Evaluate your needs. What do you mean by evaluate your needs? Consider size of your data, number of users, performance requirement, and scalability needs to determine if a centralized or client server DBMS architecture, if architecture is better suited for your application needs. And uh, this is the access centralized process. So centralized DBMS offers simplicity and control, but can be a single point of failure and have limited scalability. Evaluate if your needs align with its disadvantages. Explore client server benefit. What we can explore more in a client server benefits. Client server DBMS provides distributed processing, improved performance, and better scalability, but require more complex setup and management. Determining we have traits of find your requirement. So this was about the centralized and the client server architecture. So far we learned about the what are the disadvantages, client server disadvantages. We saw the introduction part of it. And finally, the choosing the right DBMS architecture for your needs, like the client server, what is the right database management system we can do. Yeah. Hope you guys liked it. Thank you.